a sensational new book. This is how it starts. What do Russian President Vladimir Putin, former American President Donald Trump, and the terrorist organization Hamas have in common? Some say the answer lies in 3 letters: KGB. This was the acronym for the Soviet Union's secret service. Today it is called the FSB. Its methods remain the same. The people running it are even more brutal than their predecessors. And welcome to hell. This doesn't happen in a galaxy far away. It happens here on Earth. The bloodiest war of this century began after an inquiry into Siberian shamans and animal sacrifice. Even the shamans were sacrificed. Kremlin rumors claimed their predictions were a scam. Western elite degradation allowed these events to shape our world's fate. The threat of nuclear war and dictatorship looms over the planet. It hangs by a thread, ready to break at any moment. This danger arose because the free world allowed another dictator to gain power. They let him grow stronger. They helped him feel invincible with his nuclear arsenal. Corruption, ignorance, and fear caused this inaction. Western leaders were long blinded by Russia's wealth. They ignored the horrors there. They pretended not to see that Russia had become a living hell. Now, this dictator aims to conquer as much of Earth as possible. In the 2022s, the greatest threat to civilization since its dawn has emerged. If this dictator creates his dreamed axis of evil with other tyrants, the consequences will be dire. He started the bloodiest war since World War II, for no reason. He wanted to destroy a nation and restore his empire. Unlike most dictators, he aimed to rule the world without modernizing his country. He thought he could easily dictate terms to the shaken West. Though he faced resistance, the battle continues. Today, Russia presents 2 faces. Alexei Navalny died in a concentration camp. He was sent there to serve his sentence. The Service for the Execution of Punishments of the Yamalo-Nenets Autonomous District announced his death. Many believe this was murder. Even if he died from exhaustion, it happened 4 years after an attempt on his life with Novichok. The war. At 6 o'clock Moscow time, UTC+3, on February 24, 2022, Russian President Vladimir Putin launched the bloodiest war since World War II by declaring it a special military operation aimed at, according to his words, to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine. It seemed to be the exact opposite, an essentially Nazi regime invading a neighboring country to conquer and subjugate it. He wanted to resurrect a dead colossus, a long-buried empire called the Soviet Union. She still lived in the heads of the KGB guys, but they didn't know that she could only exist there. Putin had hoped that the occupiers would capture the capital, Kyiv, in 3 days, but they were pushed back. They then fled but left behind the corpses of many civilians. Corpses with traces of brutal violence. The inimitable Donald Trump, who still enjoys a remarkably high rating, is a figure who seems to follow his own rules. He does whatever he wants, regardless of the consequences, and this doesn't bother his fans at all. On the contrary, they seem to encourage it. Despite being formally accused of attempting to alter the outcome of the 2020 United States presidential election, which was won by Joe Biden, Trump has faced multiple indictments, including a civil fraud case in New York. This marks the first time a U.S. president has been federally charged with defrauding banks, insurers, and others by exaggerating his wealth in filings. He is believed to face a financial penalty of at least $250 million. New York State Attorney Letitia James stated in early October 2023, "My message is clear. It doesn't matter how much power you have, how much money you have. No one is above the law,